If you think America is the heart of modern civilization, this story will surely change your mind. There, a trade in unwanted children exists, and the way they do it is distressing. It's known as rehoming, and when parents decide they no longer want their adopted child, they simply advertise them on websites to lure prospective new parents. It's as straightforward as getting rid of an old fridge on eBay. There's no vetting or court orders required, and these disposable children can be handed over to anyone. In fact, until you see it, it's difficult to believe, and we should warn you, it's quite confronting.
First up, we have Alicia. Alicia is a very special and very sweet young lady who is looking for her forever family. She describes herself
It's a parade
as honest,
like no other.
helpful.
Abandoned children desperately selling themselves to win over a new family, a new start.
She also likes drawing and doing arts and crafts.
And in the audience, sizing them up to find a perfect match, are their potential parents.
Okay, Michaela, you look so cute. That is my girl.
Travelling to this so-called matching event today is Tom, a teacher with no children, who is interested in 14-year-old Frank, given up by his adopted family 2 years ago and now living in a care home.
Today is important because I get a chance to kind of be a part of something, you know, part of a family that I've been waiting to be a part of for a very long time now.
If something happens, then we'll pursue it, and if not, not a big deal. Nothing gained, nothing lost.
But Frank is anxious to make something happen. He has much to lose and only 2 hours to convince Tom he's worthy of adoption.
I'm trying to show him the brightest aspects of me and to let him know what the darkest ones are.
Frank has sold himself well. Tom agrees to give his new son a trial run and will collect him in 15 days' time.
Thank you. Do the same.
But 6 months later, Tom decides they're not compatible. And again, Frank can only hope and wait to find a family who wants him forever. To see those children trying to sell themselves to find a forever family, what does that do to your stomach?
Oh, it turns it. It is appalling that we get to a place as unseemly as this. Appalling.
It is distressing, tragic, and completely legal. Here in the US, it's a phenomenon known as rehoming, where, along with matching events, troubled kids are advertised like goods on eBay and given to anyone who'll take them. Mostly they're adopted and often wear the scars of abuse and neglect. Most disturbingly, their parents have decided they no longer want them. It could be here in New York City.
It could be here in New York, it could be in Boston.
For Adam Pertman, from the Boston-based National Centre on Adoption and Permanency, rehoming is the heartless result of desperation.
Desperate people do stupid things and desperate things. There should be legal structures and social structures and professionals who know what the hell they're doing around all of this. If we don't protect vulnerable children, who do we protect?
It's an underground trade in children that could be happening in any suburb across America. It's estimated that there is something like 24,000 foreign adoptees who are no longer with their adopted families, and as we've seen, there are countless more waiting to be rehomed. To rehome a child here is breathtakingly easy. Parents who no longer want their kids simply sign them over to those who do, and that could be anyone. A desperate, loving parent in waiting, or a monster.
This is an open market. They are trading children, and sweethearts are seated, watching them as they catwalk from right to left. Tell me, are they giving them to parents who can mold them and raise them as their children, or they are selling them to sexual sweethearts who may like them. There are many kids who end up falling into the hands of pedophiles, taken through the worst dehumanizing experience on this earth in the name of getting them a family. Government is not involved. This is a market that is not even controlled by government. In a first world country, the people who are moving around the world, lecturing other countries about morality, telling them, like currently as we speak, they're accusing even Russia about the way they treated children in the war. There are many stories that we can look at. They did the same in Vietnam. After the war, they carried children in boxes and gave them to families for adoption without even going through any consideration of any kind. Some of those children today, they talk about how they lived the worst life on this earth. And these are the same people that are maybe blaming your country or blaming countries across the globe about children, about dehumanizing human beings. Let's not allow this thing of a pot calling kettle black, where itself it is too black. Truth be told, this is an open selling of children. Something so bad. Imagine what those children are going to go through in a family that you picked them from a trading center with no consideration whether these people they have the behavior of parent or something of that sort. No wonder they are telling us to be homosexuals. If this is how they can treat children in their own country, then you should be worried. And they call themselves the first world country, the epitome of morality. But here they are in an open market selling children. So painful. Because these children, they are going to be tortured sexually. They are going to be tortured mentally after being picked by people who are not morally upright, by people who are maybe criminals. Too bad. I'm sorry for these children.